Y'all know we in the building.
TakeOver Tuesday, Glockaware Radio. Love, support, and grace.
All the time.
I'm Nick, Raw Cannon.
I'm B.I., you know.
Got my brother B.I. over here.
Right.
And we got a special guest. First of all, let me just say, my brother Rue is here. He'll be here in a minute, but I don't want to leave him out. I don't want to leave him out.
Yeah, I'm stepping in. I'm just a replacement. But,
yeah, for now.
Producer work, you know what I mean? I'm backstage as well.
Exactly. But we have our special guest on the show today is Wise King.
Yes, Wise King.
Wise King.
Yes.
I was trying to catch that when I was reading. I'm like, this handle was heavy. He got too many words in this joint.
Wise
yeah,
King.
That's what we do, you know. We like Rolodex, man.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
exactly. Just
Thank you very much.
Keep it in.
keep it in, move up to it. You got it. Looks like it's falling.
It's falling out.
Yeah.
You might gotta hold this thing down.
You got it?
I don't know. Let's
let
move a
me-
little closer here. See if we come down.
There's probably a science to it.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
All
we back in
right.
business.
Okay. So a little technical difficulties, but we good. Okay. So Wise King, and we always let our special guests introduce themselves, tell the people where they can find you at, and what it is you here to do, what kind of resource you here to bring for our community today. So without further ado,
Wise.
Mr. Wise King.
Wise King, you find me on Instagram, Snapchat, and also have a website coming up soon. So
Okay.
basically, we introduce like doing for self to people, and getting them back into herbology, like which is the first nature,
Right.
you know.
CBD.
And well, we elaborate on that. We teach about that too, but it's mainly like understanding the full potential of the body.
Okay.
Like the full physical body, the full bodies, the spiritual, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Okay.
So that's what we go into. We teach people about herbs, the meaning of herb, because most of our people are being misled when it comes to the hospitals.
Okay.
The slaughterhouse.
Right.
We call it a slaughterhouse.
The slaughter.
because
Okay.
You ask any black man in America, most of the black people in America, you ask them how your parents died. They'll
Right.
say, oh, it's through the hospital. So we basically take people from getting into the chemical, which deteriorates the body quick. Because when it comes to the black body, it's easy to get contaminated. And most of our people, when it comes to food, they are being misled. When it comes to medicine, they're being misled.
Is that just based like, all right, you saying as far as the medicine, right? Is that just like as far as like you saying that we being misled? You meaning by like, all right, if I tell you to take this medicine for whatever cause you have, and X, Y, Z, what happened by you taking it versus you taking this herb, which is something we know that they won't tell us about.
Right.
Because we had a conversation prior to this about this conversation. Actually, it's good that you brought it up because me and him had a conversation prior, and it was like I read somewhere where they said that doctors will get like whatever they little disbarred. I don't know how they go about their little thing, but they will be like fired if they was to tell you, the knowledge of herbal drugs versus
Pharmaceutical.
medicine.
It's a big industry.
It's a big industry.
So
I will understand the firing if you like.
Yeah,
you push somebody that way.
Right.
And more time, when it comes to conventional medicine, they're not allowed to go into details because a lot of them is indoctrinated anyway. So when you indoctrinate a person, that indoctrination becomes a part of that person's psychology. It starts to create the psyche and the emotional change and the reality.
Right.
So most patients, I wouldn't say patient, but most people, when they go to the doctor is not allowed to tell them any homeopathic remedies to use.
Right.
So they takes away the beauty of doing for self to give a whole idea to a person that have no interest in you as a person. So I'm saying, oh, take this. I see you in 6 months. In 6 months, your body can get deteriorated.
Right.
Like you can get into serious trouble in 6 months.
From the medication?
Right.
From the medication.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to get to. Right.
So it's simply taking the power away from yourself and saying, hey, you have to rely on the doctor.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So
right.
why would I rely on a person that have no interest in me as a person?
Right.
Now, when it comes to medicine, it's all about money. So food, the medicine, it starts with the food because our people, they eat so bad that when they go to the hospital, they can't get the proper treatment they want. They are being misled, misdiagnosed to a European physiology.
Right.
Everything from there is to a European standpoint of excellencies. You know, like saying, take this, you'll be better. But you can't take a pill that makes you worse and keep taking it.
Right.
So this is why we try to tell people is understanding to get the pharmaceutical poison out your body. So we administer like herbs and stuff that can get into the body to get the pharmaceutical poison out. Because when it comes to food is an aphrodisiac.
Right.
Okay? And this is why you must teach your children about the power in food and the power in music, because all it is, it has to do with the person's physiology as well.
Right.
So you go to the hospitals and you say, hey, I'm hurt. The doctor is diagnosing you from a standpoint where they're only treating your symptoms.
Right.
They're not treating anything else.
Right.
So you are taking medicine for this, and you're having so much problem with something else.
And not only that, the medicine that you taking 9 times out of 10 has some other side effects
yeah, right.
that's going to cause something else to go wrong with you.
So-
you know, if you ever look at, you know, the medication that they give you and read the list of side effects,
You
it's
ain't
like,
even gotta do that.
oh my God.
Listen to a commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
Listen to
they
a
broke
commercial.
down like
Listen to
you
a
nausea, vomiting,
Yeah.
cramping.
And they go fast at that part.
Yeah,
At that part, they go
and
fast.
it's like, dang, I want to treat this one specific thing.
And now you need a pill for another thing.
Right, and then and I think another problem is the fact that we are being misled, because a lot of times I don't think we even understand how to fully explain to a doctor what's going on with us,
Right.
because we don't know.
Right.
And you know, that's from personal experience and learning and reading about the body and stuff like that. People don't understand that when something is happening to them, how to properly explain it.
Yeah, but you have to understand, every creature that organic to the planet have a built-in clock.
Right.
That clock tells you what's going on with you.
Right.
Okay? Now, if you, like I said, food is an aphrodisiac. A lot of things change from the environment.
Right.
One of the main problems in the human body is the bowel movement. So you know, over here, you know, they give you Metamucil and they say, oh, take this. That's going to help with your problem. But what you have to understand, anything that's in Latin with certain names is like parasites.
Okay.
So when you take Metamucil, that leaves the parasites in your body. Okay? Then when you're taking a natural herb, because herb, now he mentioned CBD earlier, these things, they have proper knowledge in there to help the body.
Right.
You know, like Bob Marley said, the herb is for the healing of the nation.
Right.
So you go to the hospital and the doctor said, oh, you having this problem. You tell them what's going on with you. So that's how you understand how your body is shaping. So that clock tells you, if you have a knee problem, you know that. That have to come from something.
Right.
Right.
So if you have a headache, you know, a lot of problem with women, dehydration, lack of sleep. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So that is the main problem.
I
And most of our people,
She
they
can-
love
she
to
can
eat
relate.
out.
Yes, I can. I can attest to
Yeah.
that.
And when you eat out, you expose yourself to disease. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Once you eat out, you expose yourself to disease. Now, 9 times out of 10, some people are cursed to touch your food. They are cursed. So when you eat out, you expose yourself to disease. Now, you eat there, because they disguise all the fat. They disguise it as numbers. They say 9% fat, 2% fat, 3% fat. But you still get in the doses of a period of time.
Right.
I'll give you an example. That's why most of our women, they can't get rid of the fat. Because one, they're broken. A lot of them are broken. Not from, you know, relationship, intimacy standpoints, but just, you know, relationship, having a relationship, period. They are broken from that. So when they eat, their love is associated with their diet.
Right.
So whatever they eat, women love is in their diet. So if they're stressed, they eat. If they love you, they eat. They don't love you, they eat. So they go into the hospital and they say, doctor, they're scared already. Once you are raised from a European standpoint, for whatever that benefits them, for their aggrandizement, whatever that benefits them, that's what you are raised from. So you got to look in the yellow page, call this, call that. So you go to them for treatment. They say, hey, you have a cataracts,
Right.
right?
Right.
You ask yourself, where does it come from?
Right.
Okay? They're not going to tell you that. So you do all your research. You still can't find out. But this is an internal problem. This is what's going on.
Right.
You have to understand, all that is coming from your bowel movement. When you eat, whatever the body doesn't want, it get rid of
It
it.
rejects it.
It rejects it.
Right.
So with that being said, where you mentioned that bowel movement is one of the number one problems with our body.
It is.
What is something, an herb, a natural remedy that you can recommend that would help people who may not have regular bowel movements?
Now, we recommend there's an herb called Cascara Sagrada. It's actually called sacred bark, when it comes to medicine. But it's a bitter herb.
What's the name again?
Cascara Sagrada. And the
Cascara
second one is
Sagrada.
Senna.
Senate.
Senna leaf. You
I see that a lot in tea.
Yeah, Senna it stimulates the bowel because the problem is there is poison in the body. Herb have the proper knowledge that goes in the body and gets these poison out.
Okay.
Now, in your body, you have stuff that coagulated in your body, right? So when that coagulate, it liquefies and go into the bloodstream. The veins, they collect a lot of poison. So once you have that in your body, it's like ball up. Now, these herbs, once you take them, they goes in the body. They brings out all the leathery stew that's in your body. I'm talking about leathery stew. It brings that out. Then when you eat the proper mineral and nutrients in the food, then that could work to your physiology. You feel that change in your psyche.
So for most of us who've probably been eating wrong all our lives, and some people may feel like, look, I've been doing it this long,
Right.
I might as well keep on, my body's used to, this is what my
Right.
body is used to. Is there any point that somebody can say no matter how many years they've been doing it, 40, 50 years they've been eating a certain kind of way,
Right.
if they try to change that and start taking herbs and stuff like that, do you think it would have
An
a
effect.
positive effect on the body?
Yes.
Because some people think,
Yes,
I've been putting this in my body I'm one of them people.
Preachers
I'm
of
not going to
nature.
lie.
Preachers of nature.
Yeah, I've been
Now-
putting this stuff in my body all my life. I might as well. It ain't
Right,
going to
right.
hurt to do it,
I'll tell you one thing. What you just said is very powerful. Now, when it comes to herbs, that's spiritual. So when you're doing herbs, it's more spiritual than what you think. Like he mentioned earlier, he said the cartoons. Okay, so I'll give you a classic example. In your body is like colonies. Okay, your body is like culture, especially the female body, because once the female body get attacked, it gets like the actual physiology of her body, like the good part of her body, it get destroyed easy. Right? So you get that herbs into the body, right? It's shaping your body. Now, he said cartoons. Your herb in your body is like colony. Whenever you feed, you are turning it into a super cop, a robocop, right? You have anaerobic bacteria. So the cartoon of it, I'm going to give you a classic example of the cartoons.
Okay.
When you take herbs, right? Say the herb I just mentioned, like Cascara or Senna, that takes the poison out your body. Now, whatever poison you're taking out, the body goes back into more and says, hey, you just got rid of my children.
Right.
Right? This is the
Right.
cartoon of it, right?
Yeah.
They said you just got rid of my children. But guess what? Whatever food that you got rid of out of your system, that poison, your body starts to feed for it right back. So if it's oily food, if it's salty food, your body is feeding for that. That's the bacteria in you that wants the same thing.
Right. So
Right?
that's sort of like when your body when you crave for things?
Yes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
when a woman is pregnant, and what you don't understand, a lot of people problem come from birth, because when a woman is pregnant, her umbilical cord is connected to the nutrient sacs of the baby.
Right, right.
So all the nutrients she eats is going into
Going
that baby.
into the baby, right.
Now that baby is born, right? That's the makeup. Now in that household, the baby eats the same food. If it's, now the cascara is a bitter herb because the body gives so much sugar every time. Once you're over 35, you don't eat for taste.
Right, right.
You get what I'm saying?
And a lot of times you don't do it because you try to get
Yeah.
yourself right.
So that's the bacteria in your body. So
Yeah.
that bacteria is functioning at its own level of consciousness because that's you.
right.
So now if you crave salty food, you are building back that bacteria that you just got rid of.
So is there any, on top of the herb that you identified that helps with the bowel movement, is there anything that can help with cravings?
Yes. The burdock root
That's
is
a
good.
good one.
Burdock root is a good one for craving. But craving also starts with control over emotions. That's where it starts first. The hardest muscle to work on in the body is the mouth.
All right, let me take you back for a second because you were speaking about the feces. Now, again, I read somewhere where they say you can use feces to determine if you're sick or not. Like
Yes.
the color of your feces
That is
would
Right,
determine.
right. I seen something
Yeah,
on the,
I
on
had
the
read- I
internet
had
with
read
like
about that.
different bowels and
Yes,
colors.
that is
and
correct.
Right, and
stuff like
how do
that.
you determine that? Like by would the herb change the color of it? Like,
Yes.
it will.
When you poop, whenever you strain yourself, you are aging your body.
Right.
Okay? So when you poop, it should be like fresh salmon. Now, yeah,
This is a crazy conversation, man.
Yeah,
We gotta have it though, but
you know,
It's real. Listen,
we gotta
y'all.
have it,
This
but
is so
this is like one of the
real. This is
nastiest
so real.
conversations I've
I
had in my life.
personally want to get as much information from this man as
As
possible.
possible.
And I mean,
'cause
real,
I had talks with him, so I know he's
Yeah.
well versed on it. Like I
Yeah.
like talking to him about it. So you definitely need the information, but this is nasty.
so,
Yes.
so
So
your body, you are aging yourself because you're straining yourself. Now, it's 3 meals a day, 3 eliminations a day, or within that 3 days,
Right.
is the elimination.
Right.
So when you eat, your body extracts the nutrients it needs. So whatever you eat, you look at the food and say, hey, am I getting the proper nutrients from this, whatever?
Right.
Right? Now, for a man, it's okay a little bit, but most men, they rely on the doctor so much that they get the guts.
Okay.
Whenever you see that gut, it's sickness. I don't care who you are. It's sickness. That means you are sick.
So you trying to say I'm sick?
yeah, I'm sick.
I got gut, cuz I ain't.
I'm sick.
I'm not.
You
I'm
got
not
what I'm
taking
saying?
this information.
Listen,
as
I
well.
need-
It got me
You are
sweating.
walking around.
Where can we get these herbs from?
I usually, you can get the herbs online, but I usually administer the herb as well, and I give out the knowledge for it. So I
Okay.
teach people how the herb works.
Right.
So how
And so
can
not
people
just-
get the herbs from you? How can people get
They
in
could
contact
go on
with
the
you to
White
get the
Skin
herbs from
Holistic.
you? Okay.
The White Skin Holistic Instagram
Okay.
is associated with the White Skin Adornment. My
Okay.
wife runs that account.
Okay.
So they could go on there and, just inquire about it. Pretty soon we're going to have, some website coming up. But the only reason we ain't started a website yet because you are never independent until you create an independent way of thinking.
Okay.
So I don't want to have my website and have someone else digging in my pocket every time.
Right.
So I'm creating the tools constantly to understand how these things work.
Okay.
That's the beauty of doing for sale as well.
Right. Right.
How long you been into the herbs though? The medicine, the herbs.
I've
How
been
long you
into
it?
herbology for a long time, but I haven't got too serious about it until my father had an accident from diabetes. Because he eat a lot, and diabetes simply means most of our people have diabetes is imbalance of sugar, imbalance of meat, imbalance of anything.
Right.
All right, because once you need certain minerals to feed, like salt. Salt is a mineral. You need salt to survive.
Right.
If you don't eat salt, you're gonna die.
Right. But some people just eat too much of it.
Exactly.
Like me.
So it's
least
it's
you
the
admit it.
taste in the food. Now, say you eat out, a person prepare your food. There is things out there they put in the food you can never tell it has salt or not.
Right.
Right? I give you a
Right.
classic example about food, like the ramen noodles. Right? If you open the packet, it smells so good, but that will kill your body in an instant.
Yeah, because I got
Now-
about like a
if
lifetime
you
of
keep
supply of them in my
My
body.
daughter loves ramen noodles.
Like-
And once you keep a person with a starch and sugar diet, you can manipulate them easy to the hospital. That is just facts. It's not opinion, it's facts. Once you keep a person on a starchy and sugar diet, sugar destroys the body.
Sound like
It doesn't matter who you are. We all crave sugar. We can be grown. But whenever you crave sugar, that colony that's in your body is like scientists. You have doctors, you have scientists, you have military soldiers, you have, the good guys, the bad guys, the preacher, the spiritual guy. That's how your body is.
So that speaks from the sweet tooth thing.
Exactly. So whatever you want to tap in your body, that's what it's going to give you.
Right.
Amos Wilson once said, if you teach a child to know certain things, they understand that and know how to do it.
Right.
So if you teach a child like they're stupid, they become stupid. If you teach a child like they have knowledge, they have knowledge. So if you teach a child to kill, he's going to be the best killer. If you're teaching a player guitar, he's going to be the best guitar player. So whatever you teach a child, they learn how to do that in an instant. It's the same thing with the body. Now, a doctor could tell you this is wrong with you. The word doctor means teacher. So if you're not teaching people on how to take care of their life, you are exploiting them. That's exploitation. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's through insurance. You ain't nothing but a cash register to them. That's why they all drive premium. They all drive Mercedes and they use premium gas.
Okay.
Because they have so much money from it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of them, they're not allowed to teach you or make you understand what's going on.
Right.
So they make you depend on them. You get what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
have to depend on them to give you your
True.
idea.
Okay.
Now, this is a grown person. They're giving you all your ideas on how to structure your life. Now, once that is being beat down spiritually, you can't do nothing. You have to fear that. And that fear is what is installed in you. Once you have that fear, you can never be anything great. Doesn't matter who you are. That's that fear.
That's powerful.
Is to get that out. And then teach them, take them back into herbs. So for a person, like a woman that work all day, when she gets home, she want to soak her body into like a Epsom salt or something.
Right.
Put or lay her back flat on the concrete and elevate her legs. Or soak her body into Epsom salt in the tub. Once you get in the tub, the body kills up a lot of infection in the body. That's why if you ever heard of a thing called hyperbaric chamber,
Yeah.
you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Well, they use it for anaerobic bacteria in the body, so the body don't get infection in order to amputate the person's legs. Because the veins, they work for the body. All right? All your organs is considered an immune system.
Right.
So in order to contaminate the heart, kidney, and lungs, it doesn't want to do that, so it sends all the waste back into the foot.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of diabetics, they have to cut off their legs.
Right. Fact.
You get what I'm saying?
Fact.
It sends all the
Right,
waste
it's
down
sending
there.
it away
That's
from
why
the
the feet
heart.
get
Yeah,
swollen.
that's what the feet
Yeah,
gets
that's when
swollen.
you when you
Exactly.
like
So-
I've had times where I felt like I ate a lot of salty foods and my
Yeah,
feet and
you
my
can
ankles.
feel it.
was
Yeah, you can feel
swollen.
it. You can feel it.
Even when you sweat,
I was.
it come out.
I was about to say that because when you play ball and you sweat from you eating a lot of salt, it leaves like a white.
Yeah.
Like you can
So
see it.
that's
Like a
from
debris.
salt.
That's
Like
from
when
salt,
you
yeah.
sweat
That's-
and it's
when
white
it's
like
white,
that,
that's
it's
from
from
salt. Yeah, that's from
salt.
salt. Yeah, that's salt.
Because you have to understand, the body get rid of waste to your bowel movement, your urine, your sweat, which is defecation of the skin when you sweat, and then it gets to your nasal passage, okay? And then, because like more time, there's a lot of way the body get contaminated. So like if you're in an environment where it's enclosed, you there all day, you have molds and erosions and stuff
Right,
from, you
yeah.
are breathing that in constantly.
Right.
That's why most people, they say, oh, I have a respiratory problem.
Right.
So if you have a respiratory problem, we take you off the air and put you on oxygen, which is a gas. And you tell the person, do not smoke. It's simply
Right.
gas, it's not oxygen.
Right.
But the people are unaware of what's going on, so they are just they're just being functional.
Okay.
That's all. Because if you're aware of what can happen, home is for harsh conditions. So when you're in the house constantly, you are breathing in smog. There is things you can't see. There is things that try to invade your body every time that you cannot see.
Right. Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
most people, they say, oh, I have a respiratory problem. That's coming from smog in the environment that is invading your lungs. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. So with another question I had about with the herbs, and you not only provide the herbs to people, you
Yes.
provide
The
what the
knowledge.
nutritional
Proper
benefits
knowledge.
of the
Yes.
herbs are. Do you do recipes too?
Yes, I do
Ah.
recipes. But the problem is, the reason why I do recipes is most of the recipes I do is having the person understand the true knowledge in doing for self. When you do for self, doing for self is romantic.
Right.
It's the best thing you could do as a person. Then you understand the science and the respect in things. You get what I'm saying? So if you cook lobster and you eat lobster, you know the difference on how you cook it or how the person cooks it. They might have more knowledge than you, or you might have more knowledge than them. Everybody cook on how their information is based.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But to the blueprint of everybody, which is ethical law, we know there are certain ways you make shrimp or like lobster. Where it's like pile up and
Right.
like they do it in Louisiana. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's teaching people that don't just buy the herb, understand what the herbs do. Because you could buy a herb and the nutrients in your body, you're not eating the proper food from nutrients because you're thinking, this is the same thing with pills. Because the doctor gave you the pill and said, oh, it's just for a bowel movement. But then you take the pill not knowing if you eat the bad food, you're not going to have a bad movement right away. So that
Right.
means that got to work 10 times
It's
faster.
kind of counteractive.
Yeah. So if you buy things online, it's basically having a relationship with people you eat from, or having some type of idea on how things work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if I buy a herb online, they say, oh, I have a high blood pressure, and I don't want to go to the doctor because, I feel like I'm being exploited. I could go online and read, because image speak 1,000 words.
Right.
This is why, the Egyptian, they wrote on the wall to communicate. Because when you leave images, it speak more words than actually talking. Are you aware of that?
Right. Yeah.
All right. So I see that and say, oh, this is for blood pressure, and I take that. It's not working for me because I wasn't taught proper on how that should work. So
Right.
that's what we administer. We say, hey, listen, you have to find a way to clean the body first, and we teach them how to clean the body, and then how to understand how to administer the herb.
Right.
I got a question. With the herbs, right? Is it like how it is with medication, where it's like medication don't work for everyone? Like what might work for her won't work for me. Is it the same thing with the herbs? Like if she got problem with sleeping and I have problem with sleeping, is it a herb that we both can take separately that's different, or is they all within the same thing?
It's all within the same thing.
You know, medication.
Medicine is a guessing
thousands
game.
of them.
Medicine is a guessing game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? When you say the word medicine, is guessing. Okay? So if first you have to understand the person, it's like where it has to do with the person's psyche. What is shaping their world? What are they into? Their relationship, if it's intimate or not intimate, their relationship with people, how they carry themselves. Everything you do is an art. Okay? So how you make up your bed, how you play with your guitar, how you take care of your guitar. When you understand all these logic, you understand what's the reason you can't sleep. The herb is just something that enhances that. But it gives you the proper knowledge in order to function properly to understand your full capability.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's all come from an environment standpoint. If I go outside, like in my neighborhood, if I go outside, come outside, I see trash everywhere, and I walk past it, it means I'm not responsible enough. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I pick that trash up, it means I'm responsible, as a responsible adult, to function properly within the environment.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
So I got a question, because it's I could tell by the unk that says a certain thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
eternal
saying?
life.
Exactly. Unk theology, all that.
Yeah, life don't
So-
dies.
Exactly. So I know that everything that you explaining is from a holistic standpoint. Like
Yes.
you can't do nothing like compartmentalized, fragmented. Everything got to be a total thing. So explain to people the importance of music, colors, the smells, the incense that you may smell, the vibrations. Like if you're trying to heal a dis-ease. I heard you was talking about patterns. Like people
Yes.
have patterns. It's like their
Yes.
regiment
Yes.
that goes into your. So when you talk about holism, explain to people the importance of the colors that they have around them, the scents that they smell when we talk about incense or any other, like how lavender can calm you down when you smell that.
Yeah.
Explain to people like how these different things play into your health.
Yeah, you see, music is subliminal. There is this is why you must teach your children the importance of music. Music is subliminal. Music plays on the psyche. It plays on the nervous system in the body. You can use music to manipulate people. It's called a direct and an indirect gunpoint. So music, I can listen to a song that elevates my spirit. I can listen to music about killing and shooting and perform that. So it is shaping my psyche. So that's the power in music. It's subliminal. You're hearing it, but it's playing part in your subconsciousness. So this is why it's always good to teach your children to listen to music that elevate their spirit, and not any music that get them into more where they have to substitute a lot of good things for momentary satisfaction. You get what I'm saying? And then it's the same thing applied to colors and patterns. You have to understand the spiritual meanings and patterns, like whatever you interact with. I'll give you a classic example. If I like a color, that color is associated with something that stimulates my brain. Okay? Not only it stimulates my brain, I understand the science in the music, in the color. I understand the science in the color, what it does to my well-being. It's the same thing with music, because when you have a song on, there is sound that evades the body, and it plays on the nervous system so much that you don't understand. Okay? So I might be in the car and listening to certain music and drive more aggressively. Like, I'm speeding through traffic, and it's a lady trying to pass by, and I'm just, I'm not paying attention to honor that first. Like an older person trying to get by, or a child trying to get through, so I'm aggressive because that is shaping my psyche as I drive. If the music is saying, "Oh, F this, F that, don't care, don't do
It's
shit
hyping
this,
you up,
shit
like
that."
getting
Right.
you hyped.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, I'm listening to that. Then I get back into a different mode where I'm listening to more calmer music. I'm listening to artists like Garnet Silk or Bob Marley or like, Lucky Dube. The music is different. It's simply bringing me back to my nature, which is the first universal law, freedom.
Right.
To say, hey, you respect everything and you act like you're not acting cynical in a proper, in a civilized society. You shouldn't act cynical.
Right.
This is why you see the psychology of the environment where you go into a more white neighborhood, you see more clean area. Not that they're so responsible than us. It's just they flip the lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? They give us their lifestyle and they take ours.
Yeah, no doubt. Nah, because I understand what you're saying when you say interact with your environment. Like, it's a well-known scientific fact. Like, if I come out and I see a lot of chaos, so chaos would be graffiti if it's not an art form that you understand. So
Yes.
graffiti can be looked at as chaos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you have trash on the grounds, abandoned cars, that invades how you feel. It makes you feel a certain type of way. It makes you operate a certain type of way.
Yeah, it do, because if I was walking the other day, me and my son, he's like 8 years old, but he have a mind of a 15-year-old. So, once you teach a child, they learn. Because I'm telling son, when I'm not here, you do what I do. You are me. You are the man of the house. If
Right.
I'm not here. So he see a homeless person and he asks me what a guy his color, and he's telling me, oh, why is he homeless? What are my explanation for that? You get what I'm saying? Because he's seeing that. As soon as we step out the house, he's seeing people going like this and like that, and he asks me, Daddy, is that okay? Like, how do I explain that? Is it an environment I'm in, or is it just things that happen? It's not by coincidence.
Right.
These are things that's, it's about
It's a
design.
system at play. Yeah,
it's
a
like,
system
the
at play.
word system in Latin, it means sewage. And once you have a sewage, what lives in the sewage? Rats, roaches.
Yeah.
So that's how people gonna act.
Right.
And then the music, once they influence that, it's a rap. So you are controlling these people to, it's called a direct and indirect gunpoint.
Right.
Right.
You don't have to hold a person. You could just teach them certain things, and it becomes their reality.
Right.
Yeah.
So why? I know you probably said this earlier. So first, let everybody know what your name is again. Platforms that they can find you on.
Wise King is the name. You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat. Just coming up with the website, but the website is not available yet. But Instagram and Snapchat is the best place to communicate with. I respond there.
Is there anywhere that people can like deal with you directly? Do you got a
Yeah, I have a
storefront or
phone
anything
number.
like that? All right.
Yeah, I have a phone number. It's 215-390-8079. So, you can reach me directly on that phone number, and I respond to that.
Right. So again, I know you probably did this already, but why do you do what you do? How did you get into it? That's two questions though. Why did you get into it? And then once you get into it, it's like you seem like you love it, like you live it.
Yes.
So why?
It's my everyday.
Right.
It's my everyday. When I got into it, because my father, he lived a fast lifestyle. And that lifestyle, it wasn't no legacy and immortality that was given on to us. You know what I'm saying? And all the food he ate, it started eating back. You get what I'm saying? And it was just so quick.
Right.
It just, the bacteria in your body, once they live in there and they create, like I said, they're like culture, man. They create colonies in your body. Once they're ready, they're going to get you just like that. I'll give you a classic example. A person come out the hospital, they get administered the drugs, and they're okay. Then they go back and eat something. Whatever they eat, that could trigger everything right there.
Right.
Right.
Because they're not aware of what's going on. They
Right.
just keep getting, take this medicine, take this, 6 months, I'll see you in 6 months.
Right.
In 6 month time, that's how long it takes you to heal your body without depending on somebody.
Right.
So take
So you
control
can't,
of yourself.
and exactly. So when he passed away, I was like, hold on, I have to do more. So I go to the hospital to get like because you can't say a general hospital. Because you're treating different people, like he just mentioned earlier. If she sleep, I don't sleep. How is it general?
Right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So you have a general hospital for everybody that goes there. So you are being treated to certain. If you tell the doctor, "Oh, I'm 32 years old, I have this blood pressure, I weigh this," then they could determine if you're obese or if you have this problem, which drugs to give you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how they do. It's their standpoint of excellency in their ward. That's why most of their people, no shots. They're not strong enough. What we could do, it's just so powerful.
I know what you're saying, because you I feel like you really want to get into the conversation of melanin, but because I know I know you can get into it. I know what you know. I don't know what you know, but I have an understanding of what you know, because there's certain things that tell a story. Imagery is very important.
It's very
you know
important.
what I'm saying?
That's
so
how people write on the wall.
we definitely want to get into melanin, so he's not gonna go nowhere. But I want to get to my sis with the say her name, because we want to make sure we get it out how she want to get it out. No rushing, no nothing.
Well, no, I don't want to. I want to get into the artist first.
Okay, we can do that. We
I
can
want to
definitely
get
do
into
that.
the artist first, because my man, he been sitting over here. He,
Patiently.
Okay.
Because I want
Man, Black Heart is.
I come in late. I come in late. My bad, bro.
Because once I say her name, I want to get everybody.
Yeah, she want to make
everybody.
She want to make us cry, man.
Exactly. Not necessarily, but I want to.
If it come, it come.
Right.
Exactly.
So we
It's
gonna
real.
go through it. This is PSA. Philly service announcement. Takeover Tuesday. Tuesday
support, and
takeover.
grace,
The
y'all.
love, the support, the grace, the resources.
Yes,
Oh, man,
the social
I
activism.
think that was
the
real
entertainment.
light.
That's what we doing out here. Come on and get what you need. We got it. So we gonna get a brother the mic? Is we gonna introduce him, or is he gonna jump right into the energy?
He gonna introduce himself, and then we gonna jump into the music.
All right.
Okay, let's
They
go.
got everything already done up. Right here in the front, bro. Let them know.
Standing in front of y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, the camera right there.
Yeah, right there.
That's where
So
you at.
let them know, who you are, where they can find you, what platforms you on.
I'm on all major platforms, like Apple Music, Tidal, all that. Black Hearted Ski. Instagram, Black Hearted Ski the same way. Everything the same way. Instagram, YouTube, you got Spotify, all that. I'm on everything. Black Hearted Ski. It's all the same.
You lied to me. Way down deep inside of me.
Man, these niggas gon' make me black out. 1980s flow, call it crack house. Come witness how these niggas overdosed on what I rap about. I'm giving you my pain, and these niggas ain't in my lane. Got them swerving, play the curve while I'm serving smokers cocaine. F40 gave me my name, Ski Gunner, they ain't no other. Niggas, they say they feelin', I'm realer, word to my brother. Tell my mother I loved her after I beat the homicide. Never did I fall under pressure, move like a Johnny Rider. Pistol black as homicide, get these niggas nightmares. Once you see that flash from that barrel, I'll leave you right there. Check him like them night gas. What you think I come for? The same shit Petey and Vinny was on the run for, nigga. Come and get us if you bout that. My nigga Bud, fuck your baby mom, can get your spouse back. Beef, we grill it out back. 40 kept that flame on. That daddy kept his promise, made his mama dig a grave for him. And I never changed on him. Same swagger, just different character. I'm trying to get my bitch extra hotter so I can marry her. These fucking scavenger niggas softer than lavender. Make me grip the mask for a mask and quick to bury it. I only play the passenger. Landing while my bitch drive. Superstar by Usher, she playing it off a zip drive. Trapping this to get by. Stacking this paper to the ceiling. 20s with big dimes, but smokers let the nick size. Ruger by the headline. Focus on my target. If he creepin', leave he leaking. I give him bullets regardless. Niggas say I'm the hardest. More focused than I ever be. A papa, he a lion. I'm cut from a different pedigree. Used to be crew from the start. Letting fame go to your brain. That shit then grew us apart. From shooting hoops at the park. Used to sleep in the same bed. When I gave these niggas my heart. Betrayed me just like I thought. Man, these niggas showed me they backs when they ain't case that I fought. Hop in my car, recline. Got this rollie strapped to my wrist, cause I ain't wasting my time, nigga.
Glockaware Radio. Glockaware Radio.
Whew.
appreciate it. We
That
appreciate
was-
it. We definitely
I
always
loved
like
it.
the energy.
Yes.
So the first question I gotta know is where the name come from.
Well, Black Heart is basically like I done been through so much shit. Like I can curse.
Yes.
My fault. I done been through so much shit. Like I mean, it's nothing else that I can like that can hurt me. Like I'm just
Right.
black hearted. Like my heart, I done been through everything. Nothing else can hurt me. Like nothing shocked me.
Right.
Somebody could say like a fish drowned. I just be like, yeah, it ain't nothing. Nothing can shock me no more. Like I done seen it all and done it all. You know what I mean?
Nah, I definitely know the feeling. You know, unfortunately, moving how we move, growing up where we grew up, it
Yeah,
get
for
like
sure.
that. It shouldn't be like that,
But it is.
but it get like
It's
that.
just the environment. It made us. That's how
Right.
it made us. You know?
So what? Why do you do the music? Like, why do you do
Well,
it?
actually, my brother was the artist. My brother passed away in 2006. So he was the rapper. I wasn't even doing no music. Like going to jail, just having a story to tell about my life. That's how I just vent about it. I just rap. I really do it for my brother though, mine. Like he the one that was the rapper. Like I wasn't into all that.
So
I mean,
being as though that's how you got into it, or that's why you got into it. What do you want to get out of it?
to be honest, man, I just do it as like a sport. I ain't really nothing that people say like, yo, you gonna be crazy, but I just listen to it like, all right, man. But they really, I always get a lot of feedback. I got like 3 mixtapes out. I got like 30 joints.
Let them
on
know the names of
SoundCloud.
them Jones. Let them know the
Yeah.
names
I
of them
got
Jones.
John, No Praise, No Fame. Then I got another one called Black Heart Escape. Then I got another joint when the pandemic started. It's called Social Distance.
Oh, all
So
right.
yeah,
Okay.
I got a lot of joints.
Just real quick, what's the premise on social distance? Just to play off the pandemic, or you had like a theme that you was going
no,
with?
and I did all the songs by myself. I don't got no features. So basically, like Social Distance, I'm by myself on every song.
I got you.
Oh, okay.
And it
Nah, I
dropped,
got you.
And it dropped when it was Social Distance,
Right.
like, and Corona and all that.
Yeah.
That's how I just named it that. I said, all right, I'm gonna just give it something like that.
Okay.
What do you consider yourself? I usually ask that first. What do you consider yourself? Are you a rapper, an artist, just a motivational speaker?
No,
Like what what do you
to be honest,
consider
man,
yourself?
I'm just a real nigga that got a real life story to tell. To be honest,
Right.
I
Okay.
ain't no rapper. I ain't
Okay.
no poet. None of that. I just a real nigga that tells stories.
Right.
Everything I rap about really happened in my life, or if I ain't do it, like one of my homies really did it.
Right.
It's either me or they did it. So ain't no gimmicks, no faking. Everything I rap
Right.
about is real.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I always ask that question. Like most people would be like, why do you? I've been asked why do I ask that question, because I was like, no, when you've been around a certain amount of people, like they got
For
different
sure.
reasons for why they do what they
Yeah.
do and what they consider themselves, and they take
Right.
that serious. Like
For sure.
now you got a certain connotation what a rapper is to you. Not saying that you do,
I understand.
but people be having that. Or no, I'm an artist. I do everything. I love the music, so I do
Yeah.
it all. So hearing that, it gives people an understanding of why I asked that question. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
I'm definitely not rapping about nothing that I ain't doing, like foreign cars and all that. I got foreigns, like jewelry. I got that. Like, I rap about everything that I got or that we do.
Right. Is that a line for you? Like as far as you like, listen, man, I don't talk about nothing. Like I'm one of them people I say, listen, I don't talk about nothing I don't know about. So you
Yeah,
might
for
get around me and be like, damn, you think you know everything.
No.
But what you didn't realize is I don't get in conversations where I don't know what's going on. I just
Right.
listen.
I don't
Right.
even, to be honest, I mean, rapper, they can rap about whatever they want to rap about. I'm just, like, me and my boys, we rap about what we live. We ain't rapping about nothing that's fake or fraud. Like,
Right. Right.
nobody that rap with me, like my squad, like you got the LBM, you got the Ghetto Baby, we all one team. So
Okay.
What's LBM, if you don't mind me, if that's something that can be.
That's my homie Sprague. That's his thing. It's called Last of the Bad Men. And we got the Ghetto Baby. That's like me and my squad. And I got like No Praise, No Fame. Like we all got like spin-offs, but we all together.
Okay.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's
That's
up.
what's
So
up.
where before we get into the next song, or do y'all want to wait to the like let him lead out? Or y'all want to do it right now? Let him close it out.
Yeah,
So
I
I
would
got.
say let them close it out.
All
Let's
right.
get into my thing over here
Okay.
with my say her name.
How y'all want? Y'all want back in the front?
No, you
Right?
good.
All right.
You good.
Yeah,
You,
you
you
good.
in
You
the show
gonna-
now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm now because you know what's
I'm with
a lot of times we get we do get the artists to get a little feedback on the stuff that we talking about
Right.
and how you feel about what we talking about. So with the herbs and stuff like that, is that something that you personally have any
No, like, I mean, I understand where you coming from personally. I don't really know nothing about like the
Okay.
herbs and all that. So what he was saying, like, I was interested, but I don't really know nothing personal about it myself. I
Okay.
can't just go off of it. I mean,
Right.
so what he was saying, I was really listening. Like, that's something that I go look at.
Yeah.
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 Knowledge is good, man. 360 learning. We get 1 degree and we stop.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
lifelong learner.
Always gotta keep
You're a
learning.
lifelong
Gotta keep
learner.
learning.
Like
Ain't never
you,
too
we
much
don't,
knowledge,
you don't
yeah.
know, you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You all what you know and not what you
It
believe.
ain't never too much
Yeah.
knowledge. So I mean, it's always good to listen.
And
Exactly.
before, I'm not gonna go too long, but I was just watching a sister. She's one of my favorite scholars. Her name is Bell Hooks, and she just said like conversation is the best form of, I can't even get it out.
We live
Educating
by-
somebody.
yeah, we live by
Education.
The best way to educate somebody is through conversation. Like there's other ways, but conversation is the best way. It's the
Because
easiest
we are
way.
humans by nature, and we
Social.
thrive to interact
Yeah,
with
we have
one
the
another.
communal spirit, man.
Yes,
Once
so
you have the
getting
communal
that
spirit, you're not alienated.
right, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna get into the Say Her Name segment. Just a little, I give a little backdrop every week. I get on here and I say the name of African American women who have died in police custody or at the hands of police. The reason we got on this topic is because of intersectionality. Black women are, minorities in a sense of race being black and also sexuality being a woman. So when you have African American women who are dying at the hands of police and not being discussed as it is with the men that are dying at the hands of police, that is one of the forms of intersectionality. So the names I have today is Katherine Johnson. Say her name. Jessica Williams. Say her name. Janisha Fonville. Say her name. India Beatty. Say her name. Tasha Miller. Say her name. I mentioned the name of LaShonda Anderson last week and just wanted to kind of get a little bit more information on what had happened with her. So the information that I got, apparently it was a call from a store marshals for a retail theft. This woman died for a retail theft. And that police say that she tried to roll them over in her car while trying to flee. But like witnesses and the people that are around were saying no, that's what they were just saying to justify them shooting at her. That she tried to use her vehicle
Not to
to
mention
run
the
them
fact
over.
that they had a fake warrant out that said somebody that was in the vehicle had a manslaughter warrant that was in the vehicle, and I think it was the vehicle was filled with female.
Right.
No,
Right.
what
We
they
kinda know that
said was
That's crazy.
that's the cops. She called the store called the cops, said something about shoplifting. They said that's for the store security to handle. The cops are not going to come out for that.
Right.
So they called back and said something about somebody having a warrant. But even with that, you talking about leaving a marshal, somebody having a warrant there. First of all, how would they know that?
Right,
A marshal
exactly.
employee.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And why would you act on it in that way? That
Right.
doesn't heighten anything.
That's not,
you know what I mean?
It's still exactly.
Quicker way to get the
And
cops there.
exactly.
Exactly, and that's the reason why they said that they
Because
did
she
it.
was a black woman shoplifting. Okay, if she's shoplifting, she should be, prosecuted. Just like that's what the system is supposed to be in place for.
Yeah, that's not punishable by death.
It's not. It's
That
not.
is
It's
true.
really
That is
not.
correct.
It's
but
not.
Once you mention the word black, that means a race, man. That kicks into the head.
Exactly.
It's so-
Exactly.
it's a race, man.
Immediately.
You
There's so
Race
much
already.
fear with that.
Yeah.
With that, man. That
Yeah.
we from the streets, so
Yeah.
we know more than I
Yeah.
think
Exactly.
anybody know. And I think that
Yeah.
like people like us, like man, you speak, 'cause
Exactly.
we're still around that. And
Right.
it's like we the ones that really need to speak about that because we're the ones. Like I mean, like we really get affected by that.
Right.
You know, it's like I was talking to somebody the other day, man, and the boy said, "Damn, man, I was going home, and there wasn't no cop on my home."
Like that
But it's a
was.
street person though.
Yeah.
There wasn't a cop on his phone.
Like that was a
But
surprise.
he know that what goes on the block. You know what I mean? And he's
Know
like,
it, yeah.
we gotta protect our own neighborhood. That's
Yeah.
how.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
That's
is
another
correct.
conversation. I
That's
wanna
what
get
comes
Right.
first.
No, you're right.
Y'all
You're
know
right.
it's a
You're
whole
right.
other conversation.
You're
It's a
right.
whole other week, but we
You're right.
definitely gotta touch on that.
No,
Right.
no
We
doubt.
definitely got to touch on that, but I do want to leave with Tasha. It might be Taisha because of the way it's spelled. So let me say that again, Taisha Miller. So this was a crazy case. So this young lady and her friends had a flat tire. They had a flat tire, and something happened with the person that came to help them fix the tire, couldn't fix the tire or something like that. So the person she was with and the person that came to fix the tire drove back home to get some more help or something like that. And this young lady was found unconscious in the car and foaming at the mouth. So somebody passing by saw her because she stayed with the car.
Right.
So they found her. She was unconscious and looked like she was foaming at the mouth.
Right.
So they called the police. And when the police came onto the scene, they tried to get her attention. They tried several times to get her attention, but she appeared to be unconscious, right?
I mean,
But it was a weapon in the car.
they hold guns to people that's dead.
It was a weapon in the car, right? And when she finally came to, she like jumped, and they say she reached for the weapon. They shot this lady 23 times.
Yeah, that's
23 times. She was unconscious when y'all got there.
murder.
Foaming at the mouth, halfway there.
Foaming
And
at
it's
the
a
mouth
woman.
and came
It's a
to.
woman.
That's the intersectionality part too.
Woman.
A black woman,
Yeah,
right?
black woman.
And came to, probably was startled.
She was.
Exactly.
I mean,
What person wouldn't be?
Whichever-
And
whichever
they
happened,
say-
it wasn't an assault or
And they say it was a gun in the car, and she reached for it, and they shot her 23 times, killing her
Wow,
instantly.
that's a lot. That's a lot. That's rage.
23 times.
That's rage.
But that goes to what he just said about the color thing. It's like we've been orientated, like, and I talked about this last week, and I think I talked about it the week prior. But however the case, a lot of times when we talk about police brutality, police murder, we get this false argument about, well, y'all shouldn't be talking about it because so many people is being killed in our neighborhoods. So my thing to that, and it's not a thing to it, it's an actual fact, is the same reason why the cops think it's okay to react like that because of the color of your skin, because that's what they really reacting to. So they think that it's okay it's the same reason why we think it's okay to do it to each other. It's the same orientation, that this right here doesn't mean anything. So either we talking about self-hate when it's us, or we talking about you looking at black skin and thinking it's not worth anything. Either way, both parties who have been orientated by racism don't think black life is worth anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think, no, but that's a programming for you too.
Right.
Because,
Listen, not to cut you off. What he said.
no, I mean we gonna say we ain't even gonna use programming or teaching. We gonna say orientation. We gonna say orientation. White folks have been orientated to think when they see black skin, it's not of value. It might not even be human. And we have been taught to hate that black skin. That self-hate is a real thing with our people. That's why if you don't like, and we all been in the street, so we know if you get to a point where you like don't care, so you don't care about whether you die or not, you willing to take the risk that you willing to take because you know death might be there.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it easier for you to kill somebody else because you already in the space where you like, listen, man, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I could die.
Yeah, but I don't think we particularly pick a race.
Now,
No, but you.
That goes one of the things that happen within your life when you growing up. Like,
Yeah, that's.
that goes like as far as for white people, they were programmed that way.
And again, I'm
programmed to not like each other.
gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example.
We just happen to grow up in different neighborhoods.
It's just surrounding.
And things
Right.
just happen.
That's surrounding
You
with
might have beat my brother up, knocked him out of school.
Yeah.
That's not the same as being programmed.
right
as in,
for sure.
You
Right.
see a black person is like instantly you automatically violent.
because
Listen, and I'm gonna definitely push. I'm gonna definitely. Oh, go ahead. I'm
Go
gonna let
ahead,
you
let-
interject.
now what he said is absolutely right because when you raise a child, right? This has what he said program. When you raise a child on how you want the child to react. Okay, so these people have behavioral scientists where they know certain zip codes and environment where they respond. They have an idea that the people there is not conscious enough.
Right.
So when they come in, they know to get in their mode because a person like me or somebody else or other people, they want to go home to their family. Most people don't. They go home to an empty room. They go home to broken stuff. So they really don't care. So when the cops come there, their first instinct is to kill or be killed.
Yep.
That's the first instinct. That's the programming. You see, they understand the behavior in there. They
But that's
understand that
only
thoroughly.
in.
So when they come in, they see their skin.
Exactly. That's the
they
response
already
to the
know
skin color.
The head is empty. That's their first.
Right.
Because they said
Right.
what a black child can do in one
Right.
day, it takes a white child 6 months to do.
Right.
So they know once a black child learn quick, he won't even be in that environment.
Right.
Listen, but that and
So
that's
you have
what
a-
that's 100% fact. But if I go into a neighborhood, cause I be around it, and y'all be around it. When I see you might be beefing with whoever you beefing with, but your mentality with all black men outside of the ones you know is still on caution. It's still on. He got the potential to do. You don't go into just any old neighborhood and feel comfortable.
No.
You be on angles.
No.
No.
Right,
Nobody
but
does.
if you go into another neighborhood and you might not, and I know I'm not gonna say you're gonna lie about it, but you could go into other neighborhoods where the people don't look like us and you don't be on angles like that.
All right,
No.
Can I say something?
Go
about
ahead,
that?
definitely, brother.
Let me say
Definitely.
Yes. Let us say
Definitely.
something.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
So,
Definitely.
Let me say this. So you absolutely right. Let's say you might go in Chester, Delaware, New Jersey. You ain't on angles like that because that's not the environment. But if they come down your block with a hoodie on, you gonna ask who that.
But no, I'm not even
Program.
talking.
Like he just
I'm
said,
not.
program.
Let me say, it's a program.
Program, like
yeah,
you
it's
said.
program thing. But
Program.
like, all right, now
That's
say
the topic.
Exactly.
Program.
I'm gonna say because you about to perform real quick, but we're gonna close this. This is gonna be a topic next time. We're gonna make
Nah,
sure.
ain't
this
no
is
doubt about that.
This is the topic.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna say this real quick. If I was to be in a black neighborhood, honestly, I really wouldn't be scared. I would be aware. There's a difference.
It's not fair.
It's
Because
not-
you have to
But
communicate.
I never said.
let me
I never
finish.
said scared. I said cautious.
Cautious.
That's aware. That's the same thing.
It's the
That's
same
not
thing. I'm
scared.
gonna use that. I'm just cautious because I know I'm aware of what's going on around the area. Anywhere I go at, I'm well aware of what's going on. So if I go up
Okay.
north, I go to southwest, Kensington, wherever I go at, I'm well aware of what's going on, who's dealing with who. So if I'm going to be cautious because I know anybody can spin this block and get goofy, and I have nothing to do with it.
Right.
That's just the nature of what we come up with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Part of
fearing
the
the I'm not
environment.
fearing the black man per se.
Right.
I'm fearing
What can happen?
Right.
now versus me walking in a white neighborhood. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be afraid. On God.
Because you don't know.
On a motherfucker be walking, looking out the window, and I could just be Trayvon Martin, for example.
Exactly.
because-
You understand what I'm saying? Trayvon Martin,
Exactly.
for example.
Exactly.
I could just be walking with some Skittles, like he said, with a hoodie on, minding my business. And the person in the car, I just seen a black man with a gun. Now, when the cops get there, how you think
That,
it's gonna play?
oh yeah.
That's
Ain't
all
no-
they gotta do
ain't
is
no-
say they saw it.
Ain't
But
no,
it-
not gonna say that.
Now we gonna
But
have to.
not too many black neighborhoods.
We
are
gonna
calling
have
the
to. We
cops.
gonna have to discontinue this until
This is
next
gonna
week.
be
Yes,
the
we
topic.
go. We
Because
go.
the brother.
Waiting on this.
The,
Yes.
the
Yes.
brother
I'm
definitely.
waiting. I'm waiting.
We
the,
got-
the brother definitely got to perform.
Yes, we gotta sit down. We gotta get our artists to send us
Yeah.
off.
All right,
I
so
have no communal
before
consciousness,
one more
man.
time, give them your name. You definitely got to come back, but give them your name. Let them know where
I'll
you
come
going.
back. Wisking, wisking.com, wisking at Gmail, wisking, Instagram and all that. But yeah, this is the people with this man. Say it's program, man.
No doubt, no
When
doubt.
these
We
people
gonna
once you
Yes.
alienate a person
So,
from
let 'em-
that nature,
this is a good
they have
one.
no
Get up there,
All right,
let
you
them
know
know.
what?
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? What's the name of the
TakeOver
song?
Tuesdays.
Where they
Come
can
on,
find you at,
Black
man?
Artist Ski. Let's go. Send us off.
You got the music already? All right.
I got so much pain in my heart. It's like I'm dead, nigga, so empty. Know this nigga from the start. Ain't by myself with the gang with me. Ain't no praise and no fame with me. Any level, I'ma get it off. Heavy metal with a plastic, ain't no lacking when that fall. Posted up on that 9 block. Before rap had a 9 chop. Was getting busy on any nigga. Send me a hit and get a palm box. Realest nigga since day one. I'm black hearted to that day jump. Bottom line, nigga, out of time. So no time I buy, bet he late something. Man, his mama better pray for him. On the low, these niggas digging me. Don't make me murder gang literally. To put a suck out his misery. Man, I ain't never had no sympathy. These niggas hate cause my cash long. Home 38 months now, man, I know they praying on my downfall. Realest niggas never last long, so I'm quick to put the mask on. 4-1 nigga, long gun, fuck a umbrella when the storm come. Rain the bullets when I aim and pull it, give him gas till the law come. Now they grieving cause they lost one. I'm laughing cause my bitch involved something. Got so much pain in my heart, it's like I'm dead, nigga, so empty. Realest nigga from the start, ain't by myself with the gang with me. Ain't no praise and no fame with me. Any level I'ma get it off. Heavy metal with a plastic, ain't no lacking when that hitting raw. Bullets all in my body, nigga. War scars still feel the pain. Get angry every time I think about it. Know my enemies gotta feel the same. Most of them dead in the grave. It's life we live when you play this game. Fat daddy locked in the cage cause them rap niggas said they see me aim. Certain shit I don't entertain. They sucker niggas when they say my name. Talking crazy on the internet. I'm a realer nigga, I don't get into that. Was front line from the start. Smith and Wesson bullets penetrating. Lion courage in my heart. You a sucker, man, you been a hater. I'm the nigga that they imitating. Switching sides when you been a traitor. Trading ass, motherfucker, you lucky I don't put a bullet in both eyes. Find him floating in the low tides and his body up to the most high. Rope on his neck like a bow tie. Ain't been the same since my bros died. Got so much pain in my heart. It's like I'm dead, nigga, so empty. Realest nigga from the start. Ain't by myself with the gang with me. Ain't no praise and no fame with me. Any level I'ma get it off. Heavy metal with a plastic, ain't no lacking when that hit involved. I got so much pain in my heart. It's like I'm dead, nigga, so empty. Realest nigga from the start. Ain't by myself with the gang with me. Ain't no praise and no fame with me. Any level I'ma get it off. Heavy metal with a plastic, ain't no lacking when that hit involved. Let me hear how that shit sound.
Yes, indeed.
Thank
Black
you,
Hearted.
Black
We
Hearted
appreciate
City.
that energy.
appreciate it.
You definitely got to come back through. Bring the
Yes.
squad through. We gonna definitely
Yeah,
schedule
bring
that
them through.
again.
Yeah, we can make
It's
Absolutely.
PSA Philly Service announcement. I'm the assist. That's my sister, the Queen, Nick.
Hey,
Give them
love,
one more time.
support,
Let them
and
know.
grace,
Wide
y'all.
Heart.
Why Skin? You
Black
already
Hearted
know.
Skin,
We bringing
you
the
already
knowledge,
know.
the proper knowledge for herbs, man.
yes,
Check
we
us
love
out,
y'all.
y'all. We love y'all. We